Good evening, children. Let us continue with the chapter 6, that is tissues. So, we were studying about animal tissues. So, today we will be studying about nervous tissue. So, the last topic for the chapter, that is nervous tissue. So, let us begin with the class. We humans have a very well developed and organized system, that is nervous system. So this nervous system consists of brain, spinal cord, and brain and spinal cord are made up of tissues called as nervous tissue. So again, these are group of cells form a tissue, that is nerve cells form a common tissue, that is nervous tissue. So let us study what is nervous tissue and structure of these nerve cells and their functions. Coming to nervous tissue, this nervous tissue is made up of special cells called as neurons. So neurons are the cells which make up a nervous tissue. And these nervous tissue is made up of neurons and glial cells. So this glial cells functions as a glue and keep the nervous cells or neurons attached. This helps in attaching these neurons. It acts like a glue. And here in the picture you can see how nervous tissue look like. The blue color picture. And also glial cells is present just like a round like structures, so which acts like a glue and attaches neurons. And these neurons are electrically excitable cells. That is why neurons receive and process and also transmit information between nervous system and other body parts. As I said, children, nervous tissue is made up of neurons. And this neuron has three parts. One is cyton. It is also called as cell body. And next is small projection from the cell body. It is called as dendrites. It is like a branches. And next is elongated axon. So these are the three main parts that you see in neuron. Now let us study each part of nerve cell. First we will look into cyton. Cyton, it is also called as cell body of neuron, and it has a nucleus within that and also cytoplasm. Here in a picture you can see how cyton looks like. It is a cell body and it has a large nucleus and also cytoplasm. And there are few granules that is present in the cell body. These are called as Nissen's body. Okay, and this Nissen's body are the site of protein synthesis. So this is the place where the protein gets synthesized in Nissen's bodies. So this is about cyton and the structure. Next part of neuron, it is said to be dendrites. Here you can see in a picture how dendrites look like. The dendrites are nothing but hair-like structure or hair-like projections from the cell body. And these dendrites sense and receive signals and send it towards axon. So whatever the signals that our sense organs, it feels, these signals are sent to axon, and this is the function of dendrites. So it is branches like projections or hair like projections. Okay, just like if you see a tree, how branches arises from the stem. So same way even the neuron. Okay, compare that with a tree. So how the branches will be in the tree. Same way even dendrites are appearing in a neuron. And it functions as a sense It senses and receives signals and also send it towards the axon. Next is axon. This axon is an elongated dendrite. It arises from the portion of cell body or cyton which resembles like a pyramid. So this axon just like looks like a pyramid where it actually arises from, and that is called axon hillock and extends to become very long. And this axon, what is the function of axon? It transmits the signals from dendrites to nerve ending. When you look at overall picture of neuron, you can see nerve ending. So till that it transmits the signals. Okay. And this axon sometimes may expand. It may expand up to 1 meter in case of humans. But in few animals like elephant, it expands about 3 meter long. And in case of blue whale, it is 30 meter long. Okay, it may expand depending on a living organisms. And next is axons are long as they transmit signals over a long distance. So it depends on the length of the axon. So if the axon is so lengthy, it transmits the signals for a long distance, just like a wires transmitting transmitters. Okay. Axon is protected by a layer. So this axon has a protective layer called as myelin sheath. Since it is a sheath-like layer, so it is called as myelin sheath. What is the function of this myelin sheath? It provides protection and insulation to axon. You know what is the function of insulation? Okay, and these coverings are not continuous. And there is a gap, and this gap is said to be knots of Ranvier. Okay, so here you can see in the axon picture there is a gap in between each, and this gap is said to be knots of Ranvier. And some neurons are myelinated, means the few neurons have a myelin sheath. So that kind of neurons are said to be myelinated neurons, or some of the neurons which doesn't have a myelin sheath, that are called as non-myelinated neurons. Okay, axon is a part of neuron, and that part is said to be a nerve fiber. Axon as a part of neuron, that small part of a neuron is said to be nerve fiber. That is, one neuron is equals to one fiber. Okay, and bundle of these nerve fiber make up a nerve. So what we see, nerve. So it is a bundle of nerve fiber. Okay, one neuron is one fiber. And there are two types of neuron based on the function. Based on the type of the function they carry out, these are grouped into two. One is sensory neurons and other one is motor neurons. So name itself says its significance. So let us see each one of them. What is sensory neuron? So the sensory neuron senses the information. Name itself say it sense something. So the sensory neuron sense the information from different sense organs of the body and carry to the central nervous system. For example, in the picture you can notice when we touch a hot object, immediately we take out our hand. And you know what are the sense organs. So eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. So here sense organ skin is playing a role here. So when we touch a hot object, immediately we'll take out our hand. That means there are some sensory neurons that is present in the skin which senses the hotness of the object, and that information is carried by these sensory neurons from the skin, that is the sense organs of the body, and carry to the central nervous system. Okay, so central nervous system will receive the information. Now the next type is the motor neurons. The motor neurons, what they do, they take the signals which is coming from the sensory neuron from the nervous system, and they are going to transmit them to different body parts. And that is the reason you immediately take out your hands. And these are functioning within a seconds. Okay, this sense information is reached to the central nervous system immediately, and that is an immediate response. You see that you are taking your hand out from the hot object. Okay, this is about sensory neuron as well as motor neuron. And children, these nervous tissues, they never regenerate once they are damaged. Okay, and that is the reason many neurological disorders cannot be cured. Okay, and this is a very sensitive tissue wherein it cannot be regenerated once it is damaged, and it is very impossible to cure neurological diseases or disorders. Okay, and this is a concept about nervous tissue, the last topic of the lesson, tissues. So here I have completed the chapter tissues. So we studied plant tissue and animal tissue. So you people need to prepare a mind maps for this and study so that the concept will be very clear. Okay, so no worksheet I'll be sending today. So you just finish your classwork. You have a lot of notes to complete. Do that and see you all. Have a good day.